Really quick spoiler alert, there is something at the end of the video. I hope you watch the whole video through without skipping to the end, but we'd like to share one little special extra thing at the end of the video. Please also take the time to subscribe to our channel. We want to grow our followers there, and so that you can be able to see our videos when we post them. But this is a great episode. We're excited to talk about bridging the gap and talk about our ministry partner, Maranatha. Bridging the gap is not just to partners in Kenya, but it's also for you as a giver to grow, to have an opportunity to grow your faith, your journey, and being generous. And it's really cool. And I just wanted to highlight two stories from the scripture. One, they're both familiar stories, but thinking about the Jesus feeding the 5,000 in the New Testament, coming out of the book of book of John, chapter 6, verse 9. It talked about how the boy had 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And even as I was preparing for this video, just a quick thought on that, like so many times people talk about the boy giving up his food, and what a great thing that was. And it was, he generous, gave his food, what he had. But I also want to give Simon Peter some credit. He's an adult. He sees the kid with the food, and he knows there's not only 5,000, that's just the men, right? There's could be 10,000 plus people there, give or take. And he could have seen that and be like, man, I'm not going to even bother mentioning that to Jesus. That's crazy. Like, why would I just tell Jesus, oh, we have 5 loaves and 2 fishes? He bridged the gap too. The boy and Simon Peter bridged the gap by coming to Jesus and saying, this is what we have. And Jesus, of course, did the miracle and fed all the people with leftovers. And that's just such a cool story of bridging the gap, being generous, and also having faith that God's going to do something with it. The other story comes from 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 3. And it's the story of Naaman, the leader of armies of Aram, and he had leprosy. So here he was, this great warrior and great leader, but having leprosy. And this verse in chapter 5, verse 3, the servant girl who was captured out of Israel ends up being the servant girl for Naaman's wife. And the servant girl told her, I wish that Naaman would talk to the prophet Elisha in Israel, and he can heal him. And that's such an amazing story of bridging the gap. That here's a girl who was a servant girl who wasn't even, she got captured, so she could be bitter and resentful, and wouldn't, even if the thought dawned on her, she could be like, I'm not going to say that to him. I don't want to be here. But no, she saw as an opportunity to share what God can do. And so she goes and bridges the gap for Naaman and tells his wife that they should talk to the prophet Elisha in Israel. And so they connect with the king, and God connects them, and Elisha tells him to bathe in the river 7 times, and eventually he does, and gets healed. And so bridging the gap is such an amazing, awesome way of thinking about what we're trying to do with SOULD. Between our partners who are making a difference in people's lives, and for you, the giver, people who help us to do stuff with our partners to enable them to do more. So just keep that in mind. I hope you're encouraged with that. I love this idea. So take it for what it's worth for you in your own personal journey. Focusing on Maranatha, it's such a complex, and for all of our partners, there's complexity involved. But we're going to just highlight Maranatha in this video. So Maranatha, they founded and operate 3 primary schools in between Kisii in Western Kenya and Nairobi. They're private schools, and they have a church that does outreach as well. And so I just very briefly want to talk about um, the wide variety, the spectrum of just running the schools. You can imagine that there's operational things involved of being able to the facilities, the buildings, keep the upkeep, the challenges of running the food program, of making sure that quality teachers are teaching at the school, that they have able to pay salaries, um, and resources and tools to be able to a library, in the school for the kids to access information. So without being long-winded about it, those are a lot of the financial challenges. And then on top of that, you've got the challenges of the government that have been constantly changing. But also recently, there is a new edict by the government, which is called they have changed to the CPC educational system. And from what Pastor Isaac was telling me about is that they have implemented this new CPC system for education, and teachers are required to be certified, and schools must have the curriculum for the CPC system. They just implemented it. They didn't say, okay, schools have this next school year to prepare. That you need to here's some funding for teachers to get retrained in the system, the CPC system. It was just, here's our new system. It's being done, plugged in, and schools must adhere to it. They have parents who are not able to afford the school fees, and so they're trying to help kids who don't have school fees to provide them school fees so that kids can come to school. So that's the school side of it. Now also, Pastor Isaac and his car that we have worked on before in the past in connection with Paul, I show a picture of his car here with you. We've reworked the engine with Paul several years ago, and Pastor Isaac has used that car for a long time. And now the car is broken down, the engine is done. And so he talked to me the last week and said that we need either a new engine for the car, or we need a new car. And then some time ago, I mentioned the water project in Key for Maranatha, where they have a natural spring that runs 24/7. And that project runs about $4,000 altogether. And we would love to raise money to be able to get storage tanks and a system put in place so they can actually capture the water and store it and use that water to bless the community, rather than it just running every day without and a lot of water being wasted. So those two projects, the car and the water tank system, that's a big one for us. So the special news we have is that we have the incredible privilege of returning to Kenya to visit for 2 weeks. And we actually leave this coming Saturday, and we are extremely excited. Our kids are thrilled. We are thrilled. We've been thinking about it every day. It means so much to us. It was our home for so long. We have a chance to meet with our partners in person, have meetings, talk with them, encourage them, and meet with some dear friends that we care so much about. Go back to the school that we taught at when we were there. Allow Sam to have a special birthday celebration with friends there. We want to be able to bless our partners in a special way. So part of us going, we're going to be taking clothing donations, and also if you have a heart to just help us do a special financial gift to our partners as we go, please go to our give page on our website and sign up to give us an amount of money to be able to help our partners in a special way when we go there. Thanks so much for listening, and we will update you soon. Bye.